Hello, guys. Welcome to Classic Semifinals. We have it today. Uh, yeah, I don't really know yet who will be my partner here in commenting, but I hope we will still get someone. Yeah, we have two interesting groups tonight. One of them is Group A. We will being here. Uh, yeah, and also, um, yep. We will have Group B, which I will be streaming on my channel if anybody is interested to see that. I just got confirmation that the big dog will be here in some minutes to come over with me, which is quite good because I'm quite not the best one to do it alone. We are still waiting on Group B lobby, as I don't know what are we seeing today in stream right now. Yep, we are waiting on anything. Imea, you could already show parkour if you want. Then I could give some thoughts on that already while we are waiting on TBD. Yep, now we are having parkour here. I'm quite sure it may have confused a bit, or I got the wrong parkour, but today's parkour is, as far as I know, first E3 Harabeke, then we have Roma World Cup with 3 hilly climbs. In your screen it's right now Paris Camembert, but I think that's wrong. And we are having a mountain stage from French and Seas, and not they called it a Free Nestro one. But at least the first stage I can already give some comments on. It's a pretty common stage. It's E3 Harabeke with some cobbles but also some hills. It's pretty known classic for like the first classic in a round. I do quite like that. Because it's like pretty interesting to see it. Always to get some thoughts about who's the best in sprinting. Of course, you don't see the climbing skills as it's not the climbing stage, but it's like pretty standard classic to watch. Yeah. For Group A, I think the best ones having there probably like I think Swagson is quite good in sprinting and stuff. Also, Ghosty is not that bad in it. Basso already is quite good, of course, but I think his strength are more in the mountains. But I think we will see Basso has quite some knowledge about how Cobblestead, Flatstead, Hillstead works in such classics, which will of course help him here. But yeah, I think that's quite what we will see here. Hello, TBD.
Hello, guys. How's it going? I do not have the podcast yet, but I'm going to join now.
Yeah, we
See?
had a parkour slide, but it was wrong apart from the first classic. So I spent my time talking about the first classic, which was right. And
Vintage mea moment.
and then I told who would be my favorites on Harabeke here. I think
And
maybe
who do you think it was? As I did not catch that. Sorry.
Swagson, because I think he's quite a good sprinter. Because E3 is not about mountain skills, of course. I think it's quite good to see who's the best in sprinting, which is quite a needed skill for classics, of course. So I think Swagson and maybe Ghosty. Also Basso, because he knows how the stats work in such a race. You know, he's pretty good in the
Yeah, that's true.
theoretical game.
That's a major true. Uh,
Where the
I
fuck is Joe's lobby? Ah, there it is.
I
Uh,
mostly agree with that, but given that there will be a sprint finish, if enough people keep at least two riders, it might come down to a very close finish. So we'll see.
yep.
Uh,
Also, luck
meanwhile,
can of course play a part in this classic.
Meanwhile, let me just take a quick look at the group so I can again clarify people what we have tonight. Welcome to all. These are the champions. This is the Champions League. With me tonight we have Finn. I think Frabo might at some point join, and Emea directing as is usual. And trying to find the inline thread. Sorry. Here we go. So today we have two groups. It's semifinals, obviously. We keep talking about the champions, and this is today the first race that will decide the final lobby that will be fighting for that title. So tonight we have A with Alder, Joe Whiteley, Yubi, No, sorry, this is wrong, isn't it? Or is
We
it
have
right?
let me tell you the groups. Give me a second. I have a semifinal one with ASG, Alder, Basso, Grassi, Swaxen, Ghosty, and Laurel.
Okay.
And Group B with Joe Whiteley, Herrera, Max, Jakub, Naut, Hübi, and Ninja. But Ninja is replaced by Agap as Ninja can't play.
Ah, yes, I was looking at inline. Sorry, it's classics. My bad. Indeed, as Finn said, we have those two groups. Will be center court in A. It seems to be the most entertaining lobby in terms of skill, the most close one. Obviously, that's theory. We'll see how it goes in the road. But as he said, and well, we have ASG, Alder, Basso, Grassi, Swaxon, Ghosty, and Laurel, which is he has done a good tournament, very good first round. Might be an outside chance here, but quite a good lobby in terms of quality. And in B, we have Joe, El Colombiano, Max, Jakub, Nautis, Yubi, and Ninja. Like you said, ACAP replaces Ninja then.
Yeah.
So, what do you think we can expect on who would be the three favorites for you to pass Group A? Because it is the one we will be calling.
Group A is really a hard one to call. I
Indeed.
think Laurel is definitely the outsider, as all other ones here are known champions. ASG, despite being quite a controversial world champion, of course,
Mickey Mouse. Sorry, what?
he still is the world champion in this discipline, which makes him
That's true. That's true.
which makes him obviously a favorite.
I mean,
Alda is,
yeah. As much as we like to joke, he did win it at the end of the day. So
of
credit
course,
to him.
Alda is the defending Champions League champion of Classic and also the defending overall champion. Basso is one of the best upcoming road players we have. Swaxon is world champion in Classics, I think, the year
Yes, and the
before.
current world champion at something.
Yeah, he's
Four.
current road overall champion, I think.
Oh, okay. Roads overall. Yes.
And we have Ghosty, of course, also a known player.
Yes.
Who,
One of the
uh,
oldest players around still.
yeah, 2014 world champion on the road. And Laurel, of course, is outsider, but I think it's hard to call. But if I need to
Oh,
pick
and we
someone.
also have Grassy that has been
Yeah,
playing
true,
for a
I
while
forgot.
back.
I forgot.
Also possible to do a great result for him. I betted money on him, so don't disappoint me, Grassy.
But if I need to pick someone now, I would pick Swaxon, Basso, and Ghosty, to be honest.
All right. As favorites for overall of the group, right?
Yeah, of course, of course.
All right. So these are not bad choices at all. I think I would say something like here we go back to classics. So I'm gonna try and do something different because you already predicted those three. So I'll at least try and shade you one. I think Swaxon and Basso for sure. I think it will be very hard between guys like ASG, Alder, Ghosty, and Grassi, but I will go with Alder as third one. Wait, or did you predict Alder as well?
No, I predicted Ghosty. My choice was
Okay.
between Ghosty, Alda, and ASG, to be honest. I see Grassi and Laurel quite as outsiders here.
Okay, I go with Swaxon, Basso, and Alder.
Yeah, let's see how it goes. Let's go on to Group B, I would say.
Yes, Group B, as we talked about, we also have. It's not as stacked as this one, let's be honest, but it's still an interesting group.
Yeah, I think
would you agree?
it could be quite interesting because it's not that stacked. I mean, we have quite some unknown players. We have Max. Max got a classic champion in German and Cs. I was in the lobby. I was quite trolling around because I didn't know I wouldn't have a chance anyway because for the overall because
on the other hand, we do have some veterans here.
He did win it against Hubie and Ghosty, who played serious. I did just some random attacks, to be honest. But yeah, I see him quite as a good chance. He's like more the player who plays a lot of career and does his first online steps, but in classics that's quite the shit hit, which helps because of the sprints and stuff.
Indeed. I would say that above all, we have some veterans in this group, already considered veterans, because as we know, a lot of the old timers have left with time. So I think Joe, Jakub, and then El Colombiano or Yubi should be in the top three favorites theoretically. And then Max, Ninja, and Nautis definitely outside chances, but lots of possibility to advance, especially being classics.
I would go with Joe, Yubi, and Jakub.
All right, we will have the Champions League anthem now. We will return as soon as that is done to introduce the beginning of our semifinals.
mini-tour of Flanders. Some with cobblestones, so it won't be a piece of cake. The biggest challenges come just before the 200-kilometer mark with a Paterberg and its maximum gradient of
Temporary
almost
crash.
20%.
We already started?
Yeah, the race is going right now, but I was waiting on you to start commenting on it because I didn't know when
No, it's fine. Sorry, just had a little Discord hiccup there. So we already have everyone going, as Finn said, in this group. How is B, by the way, since you are there? Has it started?
We are in the loading screen right now.
All right,
Probably
so we
I'm
move.
the only one in it, but we have some difference in kilometers, which is good. Right.
Oh, that's perfect, actually. So maybe we can try to catch both finishes for the stream. So right now we have no breaks yet. People are just lining up their riders. I already see Swaxon with 4 men there, and now it's ASG with Simon, the 72 sprinter, the couples guy, making a move, but it doesn't seem he'll go forward with it. Would you place some men in the break here, Finn?
Yeah, I would surely place someone in the break. I think the 82 cover guy is maybe not the best one to take because I wouldn't waste his energy. Later you could do a pull on like the Quaremont with him or such for your sprinter. But I think someone like the hill guy is probably someone who could be placed in there if the race is not played that hard. If the race is played hard, the hill guy is the guy to play for you, so you obviously shouldn't put him into the break. But I think the 78 sprinter is the one to go here, so...
Yeah, I agree. Looking quickly at the parcours because Emma didn't check the profile of those hilly sections yet. If you could, Emma, please, so we could see the profile of those bumpy sections after the first climb. Yeah, there we go. It's quite hilly, but it might be good enough for the elite for the 78 sprinter to pass, unless someone.
Wait, let me check the stats of him at my group quickly, then I can...
Yeah, they're usually good for these types of races. However, if someone pushes and pushes hard, keeping only 1 or 2 riders for the final kilometers, they might have difficulties, depending on where they do it.
I just got the stats. We have 74 cobble, 71 hill, and but only 67 downhill, which makes him quite bad in
What is the
recovering.
stamina, though? What is the stamina, though?
Stamina, I think 75.
Endurance.
75, yeah.
I think 75 is quite good because in this DB it's one of the highest values, if I recall correctly, and it's a balanced one, considering the effect of that the stamina has in this version of PCM.
Well, let's see how that goes.
Yes, indeed. And as we were talking about possibilities for the 78 sprinter here, Grassi decided to make his move, and that's E1, right? Yes, it is. And I don't know who's on E2 trying to catch up. It is Swaxon with his 4 man. So right now, first proper attempt of a breakaway, although ASG did
Swaxon also going
attack.
with 78, which is quite interesting. So they are thinking he probably won't make it to the finish, I would say.
Interesting. Perhaps he's probably counting on the race to be a bit hard, and like I said, if it is minimally hard, the 78 sprinter will indeed have difficulties passing.
Of course.
So it's an interesting move for him to put in there. It means that he might get enough advantage if the break is allowed, obviously, to try and make something happen with his sprinter. Because we do not believe that a break would be allowed until the end. However, it's cycling; anything can happen, even in PCM.
Yep, definitely.
So quickly, if we can see who Grassi has there, because I was okay. He has 78 sprinter and 78 cobbles rider and the time trialist. Okay. Swaxon has both sprinters there, actually, I believe. So this is an interesting choice. Everything.
Yeah, but I think he has both sprinter sourced to the 82 one, yeah?
Yeah. So I think those choices make sense. So putting Eureka riders in the break is always a good option. And putting a rider like the 78 that could, in certain circumstances, pass is also an interesting
definitely.
And good tactical choice. And now we have, I believe, Basso relaying at the front with ASG. I don't know if ASG will help him or just doing the 6 crazy man train.
Laurel going for the 6-man train, I think
So,
that's quite...
Yeah, it's...
interesting tactic. But we also have Do we have? No, we actually don't have Max doing it in my.
Oh, we actually have it's Ghosty, Bostel, and Alder apparently now relaying. I don't know what.
Well, I think they are relaying probably to keep the
No, yeah, to keep
78
to
in
control
distance.
yeah. What I don't know is what ASG is doing with that 6-man tray. But okay, we'll see. Because if he's going to relay with a 6-man train, I'm going to laugh my ass off on live stream. Sorry, but it is what it is. Okay, so I see Basso has his man there well positioned. Let's see if he eventually decides to join in just racing. However, they can easily control this with a steady pace, so it shouldn't be a big difficulty, at least for now.
Yeah, we're going into the narrow road sections now. First cover section soon. I think they need to control the brake now, otherwise it's gone because race won't get slow anymore now.
Finn, if
Yeah.
something like immensely big happens in your stream, let us know. If not, we will join there for the ending when possible.
Of course.
Right now, we only have 7 men, 2 players in the actual break. Swaxon with 4, Francesco Grassi with 3, and right now it seems to be well controlled by Basso, Gosti, and Alder, if I recall correctly, and they seem to be keeping it at a close time gap, and also around 1.5 minute, not more, and they will as soon as they choose to. Can quickly close such a gap when they need to or when they think it's the time to do it.
1 minute is pretty much doable.
Yeah. Which for now, yeah, they're controlling it very well, giving the brake just the minimum advantage to continue to exist without being a major threat. Now, we have Laurel actually positioning his men properly for this, which is the first cobble section of the day. We all know how vital positioning is in these cobble sections. Even the short ones and with low cobbles can sometimes be annoying if you don't position well.
Yeah, definitely. But the first cobble section here is not as important. I think
Indeed.
important it gets from the point where like
Yes,
first
further on.
classified climb is in the profile, like where the first climb with influences, if you know what
Yeah,
I mean.
after that one, yeah, it becomes extremely important to keep a great positioning because not only there will be less margin to recover, you might actually end completely dropped at that point if you completely miss your position.
Yeah, definitely.
So right now, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, what do you think about the parkour in general for the semifinal, by the way? We didn't really get to talk about it.
Oh, we didn't get to
late,
talk of it as there
because you
was
were
a
late and Maya fucked up the...
and there was a wrong slide, yes.
Yeah.
All right, let me quickly check it because I actually haven't seen it for today. Round 1, blah blah blah, or semifinals. Semifinals are here. So we have this one. Then we have a hilly one. Seems like a circuit. It is. And then we have a mountain one with a downhill finish, which is probably one of my favorite things to do when it comes to classics because there's the required skill of climbing needed, but there's also that point at the end of the last climb where it makes things exciting to have that possibility to try and attack and maintain that gap on the descent. It usually makes races a lot of fun there.
Definitely, but I just hope the finish is not shit due to the downhill finish.
Yeah, that's true. Well, there is a short flat there, I would say, less 2 kilometers maybe, if I'm looking at it correctly.
Yeah, I hope so.
That might do for a decent sprint or even a good one. Overall, I think that we will need to see how these develop, because obviously I'm not looking at the full PCM profile just by the pictures. My main wish is that they are not random enough parkours, that they actually require some skill so that we have deserved finalists in each group. Hush joining us saying Grassi easy win. Let's hope so. I mean, we wish all players to do well, but I also betted virtual money, which is the most important thing of life, I hear, on Grassi. So.
I think, I think on the parkour, the second one, I don't really like that one. I think it's just who manages energy of his 78 sprinter the best, because I think it's possible to get him over there, because it doesn't seem that selective, that climb, to be honest, and it's too far from finish. But well,
Yeah, that's true. Like I said, without looking at the profile, especially, it becomes a bit hard to judge.
yeah,
But it does seem a bit. The second one is what you meant, right?
yeah, of
Yeah, it
course.
definitely means to be one of those clients where it might not end up being selective enough. That also depends on how the lobby plays, obviously. But sometimes you can only do so much, even with an active lobby, with an aggressive lobby, depending on the parkours.
Yeah, but the first and the last classic I really like. I think it's well picked.
Yeah, and we will see. We can be judges like anyone else, people watching, participants, after the race has concluded. Right now, the hope is that there is a bit of selection, so we see some skill involved. Right now, there's nothing much going on, though. It's still the same breakaway. It's still around 1:15. Now it rarely even reaches closer to the 1:30.
But
A little bit now.
If you think Group A has a boring race, you should watch Group B. There's no break and no one wants to relay, so we are going at 30 kilometers per hour.
Okay.
It's nothing happening here.
So yeah, I guess this is better than nothing. I think small break, but
at least someone needs to relay. Here,
Yeah.
I think if no one, no, Joe is attacking to keep the race a bit interesting, I guess.
well, let's hope he has a chance to do at least that, keep the race minimum interesting.
We have a new break going here now. Let's see how that goes. Well, yeah, how far are we to the interesting section? Like 50 kilometers? Less, right?
Yeah.
30, I would say.
Yeah, less. No. The first classified one, 33, something like that. A bit over 30, give or take. Yeah, and there will be actually where the race will start to see some developments. Right now, the most interesting thing, quote unquote, going on is Laurel with a 6-man train behind those relays. Other than that, there's not much to talk about. I mean, I'm not saying that on a judgmental way, although we do like to make jokes about it. I just don't think at this point of the race it's something he needs to, but okay.
Yeah, I don't think so either, but, well, let's see.
I mean, I would understand it a bit more if it was like, and even then, I'm not saying it's the best way to do it, but if it was on cobbles or something, I can understand resorting to the 6-man train as a desperate resort in case of need. But here, I don't see the utility of it.
I don't see.
However, it is not blocking the race as well, so it's fine.
Definitely. As long as there's a break going.
Yeah, there's nothing really bad coming out of it, so it's his choice. He's trusting his choices. I think it's a good thing. It has brought him to the semifinals, so not going to doubt his skill levels. In fact, I think if it goes well for him, he has an outside chance in the lobby. However, we'll need to see, like you said, and well, you pointed it out, that after that first classified climb, so to speak, hill, small bump, but that might be a tough one. We will see how the race starts to develop, because from there on, we will enter quite the hilly phase of the race with a couple more climbs and couple sections.
Yep, definitely. Let's see.
As we enter,
Is Laurel going with all the 6 guys, or what's happening there?
No, I think it was protection that was massively going in major energy boost, because obviously it was a hard section. And now I think he wants to try and close that break. Now that let's see.
Well, it's only 27 seconds left.
Yeah,
maybe he wants to close it before the important section.
Yeah, I think he was trying to close it before the first categorized ascent began.
Oh, we have Herrera dropped with 3 guys.
Any of them the leader?
His hilly guy, his cobble guy, and his 78 sprinter.
Oof, yeah, that's unfortunate, man.
I think he was focusing on the front because he had 3 riders in the break, the other 3, and dropped then and pelted. But well, race is quite slow still because no break right now. So let's see, probably comes back.
Round and round we go, and everyone is about to get back on the same group in about 3, 2, 1. There we go. And There is no longer a break, but we are also a little bit over 10 kilometers from the first difficulty of the day, so let's see how that goes. Right now it's ASG putting I think his entire team at the front, I believe it was, except for Kwiatkowski that apparently is getting water.
Yeah.
Also, Grassi a little bit on the limit there with 3 of his men. Let's see if he manages to keep his focus and maintain them in the peloton.
We, by the way, have a difference of approximately 8 kilometers. We are 8 kilometers behind you.
Oh, that's actually nice. We can catch both finishes then. So, if you just joined us, this is Group A of the Classic Semifinal of the Champions League. Right now, we're watching Group A, like I said, center court. There's also Group B going on in Finn's stream if everyone wants to check, but we will see its finish right before we finish this one, as there is an 8 kilometers gap. And right now, what we are watching here is break. There was a break, a short one. It wasn't short-lived. It still lasted a bit, but it never got that huge of a gap. Finn, how would you approach this right now if you were playing?
I'm not quite sure. I think I would try to protect my potential leaders. Due to the race being quite slow so far, I would consider the 78 sprinter having a chance. I would try to protect the 78 sprinter and probably the hilly guy. And then let's see who gets more energy to the finish.
All right, La Houpe begins. That's the first difficulty of the day. As you can see, 3.4 kilometers at 142 meters of altitude at 3.1% average, I believe. Or max. Not sure. I think it's average.
I think
class.
average should be average, yeah.
Yes, usually average unless one specified if I recall correctly.
But nothing happening here.
But the pace is, seems to be slow enough for there to be no
boring classic so far.
Yes, it isn't the stuff we dream for at the moment, but 78.7 to go. Everyone's still keeping their 6 men. We are now, let me take a look, around 7 kilometers or so from the next hobble section, but in between there are 2 hilly bumps there. Let's see if someone decides to move up the race a little bit between here and there now.
I hope so. We are getting into the hilly section now. The decisive section.
And now is where mistakes start to be punished in this hilly parkour.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, it's...
Basso moving.
There are a couple block fests in there, but nothing too annoying.
We're into the last third of the race. We'll soon know the final outcome. It's in such percentage.
What is Francesco Grassi shouting by the way?
He's shouting Karabatskillia because he just scored for nothing.
Ah, okay. I had no idea they were even playing, to be honest. Completely forgot.
I didn't have any idea either, but when I read that I was checking it because I was interested.
I did watch the Manchester United game today and a little bit of the City one. Didn't see how it ends. The City one. Manchester won.
City. I didn't watch it, but I checked the results.
Yeah, I saw something like, I think it was till it was an 1-0, which was like half an hour or so. So as it stands right now, all 42 men still around, yet another couple section.
Barca going with his 82 mountain, which is quite interesting. Also getting his sprinter. Now the race gets interesting here.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting choice. The 82 rider in these hilly sections has the possibility to try and indeed get away from the rest. Let's see if he tries that effort continuously, if someone joins him, or if he ends up giving up. Right now, Barta and someone else. Is it the sprinter? Yeah, but it's not going to happen.
What happened there? Us Gaming got train back, I think?
I believe there were, I don't know.
That.
It did look like it was a little bit quick, but it did look like either that or a block seemed like Trainbug more, and caught some people with him, unfortunately. So again, this is where mistakes, voluntary or not, start to creep out on people's races. Laurel still with an interesting position in the peloton. Alder desperately trying to place Hodge and Molano back into contention. Grassi, I see a couple of men from him too.
We have a split in our group, 18 and 15, like a peloton just split it in two.
Yeah, we have a split in here as well, 28-11. All hell is breaking loose in both groups as we speak, or about to. Alder desperately trying to get his entire team back. He achieves. Let's see to what degree, because he immediately gets a wall there in, I think it was the form of ESG's men. Basso taking advantage of good positioning to yet again try something.
Barsto's trying to make the race active.
Indeed.
And he got away with 4 men.
Yeah. I think he might, I don't know if he has a sprinter there, maybe could you check?
78 sprinter. And little guy, if I saw correctly.
Well, this might be a good opportunity for him to make the race harder for others that have to chase while taking a 78 sprinter with him.
Yeah, indeed. Let's see how that goes. Barso always tries to play quite attractive, at least in semis and round ones, which is quite cool. In Group B, everything is together again. I said, and then we had splits. Right.
Sorry, in Group B?
Yeah, I was about to say that everything is together again, but then we just had a split again.
Kreuzberg starts. Let's see who got the better positioning. Swaxon good there on the left side. I think it's I can't say if it's Laurel or ESG. It's slow. It might be Laurel. The equipments are too similar for me to even bother.
We have Huey dropped with like his whole riders.
Oh, that's
in Group B, to keep you updated about that one.
I think Basso, I don't think he's going to be given the margin for it, but I think...
but it makes sense to not give him margin, to be honest.
Yeah, but I think Basso was definitely maybe thinking about the opportunity to capitalize on a possible break, because only 1/3 of the stage or less was left, and given the new stamina system, he obviously wouldn't survive a full stage break, but he could try something here in the last 50-60 kilometers. Let's see if he does. He's still pursuing it, but he's not getting a big lead. Oh, and Swaxon and I believe Alder and Ghosty now in the front.
Interesting splits definitely going on here. And now Quaramont is coming up.
As Quaramont is coming, if these guys, for example, in E2 manage to get a steady pace going, it will be hard for everyone else to join them.
I think it was quite smart by Barso to attack before this Quaramont stuff and such, because now he has the advantage while everyone else behind has to fight with
Oh, Swaxon is going. ASG has someone with him, I don't know who. And now Carr arrives next to Basso as well as Sagan, which I believe is the 78 sprinter? No, I don't know. Not sure even.
We have ASG and Swaxon and Barso at the front now, which is a good group.
And I believe ASG is the only one with only one rider there.
Yep.
Meanwhile, there's Grassi, Ghosty, Laurel, I think. There's a bunch of people desperately trying to catch on. There's only 23 seconds though. It's not much. It's 30 kilometers. There's not going to be a downhill. One less difficulty of the day, and then it will be around 20 kilometers, give or take, of flat. And everything back together. $23 men left though. Shorter field. Might be shorter in the next one. Now it's Ghosty. Let's see if Ghosty actually attacks or is just positioning for the Notterberg.
I don't know. But I think he will attack, which makes sense.
Yeah, it's a good
He has quite a
place.
man advantage. He has 4 men still.
It's a good place to try something. And as we speak, Ghosty increases his pace. And I believe it was ASG behind him? Laurel. Yeah, I gave up trying to understand these jerseys.
Watch out, a team leader is falling behind.
He did not attack, but he definitely increased pace, which means two more riders actually dropped. Don't know if it's from the same person or not. 3. Because Hodge... Oh, it's all those riders. The sprinters desperately trying to re-enter. I believe Hodge is the one about to re-enter. It is, but that's the... But the 78 sprinter is still behind. It's Milano, and I don't think he'll make it. I see 178 sprinter at least still there, probably 2 or 3 in total.
In Group B, there are also some 78 sprinters left. We passed the Nocturberg now too. With Joe with 3 guys, Jakob with 3 guys, Herrera with 2, Agab with 2, Naud with 2, and Yubi with 2. And Max got dropped with all his riders already. Let's see. Joe played it quite well. I think he should be favored after seeing the race.
The riders are entering the last 15
What
kilometers
is
of the
going
stage.
on in Group A? We have a 20-man group who's about to go to a mass sprint, I would say. Emea, to answer your question, if it is the version with a turn at 1 to go, yeah, it is. At least in
Sorry?
like,
I'm back. The big dog, small dog needed to be taken out. So, 20 men at 11.5 to go. Pretty much gonna be a bunch sprint here.
yeah, we have Argab trying an attack in Group B, but getting caught, I guess, from others. But we still have quite some attacks here.
Round and round we go. Everyone seems to have 3 men. Some more. At 7.6 to go, the sprint is being prepared. Let's see who gets the good positioning. Right now, Grassi on the
Laurel has
left
quite
side
good
coming.
positioning.
Laurel at the front. We have Swaxon trying to catch up on his left. Grassi's gonna have a pet cut there, illegally cut, I
Only
mean.
5 kilometers left.
And then we have ASG on the middle, Ghosty on the right. Oh, who's it gonna be for 7 to go? It's very important to keep positioning now. Basto appears out of nowhere, placing his riders at the front. Here comes Grassi on the left, gets a rider blocked there, not sure if it's sprinter or not. Oh, the mass, 2.7 to go, round and round we go, sprint is being launched, Ghosty accelerates, now it's Basto on the left, launches full steam, Battle pursuing him, Swags out on the right side. Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be?
No, it's
Who's
gonna
it gonna
Basso.
be?
Basso.
Oh, it's Grassi! It's Basso! It's Basso!
Basso ahead of Swaxon and ahead of ISG.
Basso, Swaxon, ASG, Grassi. And then I have no idea who's Germany 1 and Germany 2.
Germany 1 should be Ghosty, Germany 2 should be Laurel, I think.
Ghosty 5th, Laurel 6th. So right now we have Basso. If this ended now, it would be Basso, Swaxon, and ASG would qualify for. So ASG would be doing
We
some.
have 3 kilometers left in Group B. I don't think we will be able to catch it up on the stream now, but I will tell you what's going on. We have Joe launching right now.
Can we actually switch there quickly, Emma, the mainstream?
I don't think that's really possible.
I'm gonna
But we have
quickly
Argab
look at
going,
it.
we have Argab, we have Jakub, Joe, Argab coming with a sprinter. Argab going for it, but he started too early. It's Joe, no, it's Jakob ahead of Joe and Argab.
Jakub, Joe, Ara. Very good.
Then Naut 4th, Yubi 5th, and yeah.
El Colombiano 6th.
No, El Colombiano got 8th, but like 6th from the
Oof.
players, yeah.
That's rough.
Max 6, Max 96, still not in the finish.
So we quickly moved to hear Finn commentating the Group B sprint. You have the results here. About this one, we already saw Basso won, Swaxon securing a 2nd place, and ASG making justice to his world title, getting on the top 3. So right now, nothing out of the ordinary here so far.
Emea, can you post the point system of classics in the channel? I think it's 80. I think it's the same as inline, I would guess, but what's the
I think
difference?
so, if I'm correct. Okay, one last look at the result. Basso, Swagson, ASG, Francesco Grassi. Then we had Ghosty and Laurel. So, as we wait for Group B to come, second stage of Group A to come, as well as Group B's, we look at these results quickly. So, Basso, we can call it here. Basso winning, Swagson second, ASG third. Not really a big shock here for any of those placements.
No, not really. Barca quite a favorite. ASG definitely, despite being
Definitely
controversial
doing,
because
yeah,
world champion.
but
Swaxton
definitely doing
also
justice to his title, I would say right now.
quite
Swagson
quite
also one of the
quite
favorites. Yeah.
expectable results.
And when I look at Group B, it wasn't all that shocking either. You had who won? Sorry, Jakub,
We had Jakub
the
winning.
player, then Joe, and who
Then
was the
Joe
third?
and Agap. Agap also not a bad player, to be
I
honest.
think that was probably the biggest surprise. I don't know who the competition was in fourth, fifth, and sixth, but still not a shock. All right, we have a small break from our director as usual because he's 70 years old. So, as you look at this right now, no shocks going through, so everything seems good. And going as expected, I wouldn't say any big surprise at the moment. We are waiting on the second classic to see. While we don't believe so, that climb, we want to see if it makes some lasting differences, but probably won't too many. We'll see. I suppose it depends on how it's played as well. We will know more in a little bit, especially the third time we pass there, as there is a circuit. And then on the final stage of the semifinal, we will have a hard climbing stage with a downhill finish. So, Finn,
Yep.
you agree? Nothing shocking right now in terms of
No.
results, at least so far?
Neither in Group A nor in Group B.
I agree.
Quite expectable results.
Hush saying a lot of 4-6s with Basso. I did see a lot of movement there, but I think it was like fair movement to try and position his riders
I
in the
wouldn't even
last
say
4 or
it
5
was.
kilometers.
I wouldn't even say it was that much of 4-6. Also, a lot of just the game moving his riders in that big group.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything controversial there. Seems like a good win.
Yeah, definitely. So now we are waiting on EMEA to get back.
We are. Meanwhile, since my dog was already in, I'm going to quickly close the door. Be right back.
No problem.
All
Oh,
right.
we have Frabo joining maybe now.
Let me quickly see if it's him. It is Frabo. Do you realize we started almost an hour ago? I guess he doesn't.
Oh, I think now we don't really have a difference in kilometers, to be honest.
Well,
Because they didn't really time it quite well. I'm in the
that was
loading screen right now, and Emea will be in the loading screen in 10 seconds.
mm,
Let's just
yeah.
hope on a
It's
slower
not,
race in one of the two groups.
yeah. Let's hope one of the two races is a bit more has a bit more movement and speed than the other.
Yeah.
Maybe we can then move to a double finish. And it's 204.3 kilometers. So we already discussed a little bit of this, but can we actually expect major gaps, major race movement, and separations? Sorry, in here in this specific climb, or not really?
I will tell you that in 5 seconds when I'm able to see the profile.
You will respond with better information.
Now I'm able to see the profile, and I actually think
Yes, and it means you will be able to respond with a bit more information, which is good.
it's pretty much possible to do gaps if someone wants that, because we have
Interesting.
some red and black sections
Oh yeah,
up
definitely. Then
up at
unless
the climb.
everyone decides to go effort 30 the entire thing, we probably will see some interesting attacks here. Then my bad.
And
Maybe
we
this will.
also have some couple sections quite close to the finish, if I call that correctly, or are they after the finish?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we still have.
Well, not after the finish. Before the finish, I see at least one, maybe two. I need to have a closer. I think it's two. No.
Yeah, no, we have one before the finish, but the harder one of the two is sadly like after the finish line in the circuit. Like you cross the finish line and then it starts in this circuit, which is
Yeah. So in the end, it only catches the first one.
yeah. During the race, we have two. One
Yeah, see it.
being
I
less
see it.
hard than the other, and the less hard one is immediately before the finish, and the harder one is only in the
Still,
first
it might
three
still make
laps.
a difference in it being exactly in the finish. Might still make an interesting difference. How many stars is it? The finish one?
The finish one, let me check. We have no, it's only a 1-star one. It's the Weir di San Gregorio. It's 600 meters long. Uh,
Mhm.
but it's like
The race has
1
cobbled
kilometer. It's
sections
like
that
2
are
kilometers
renowned for
before the
testing
finish.
both
One
So
bikes
star.
and their riders.
yeah, it's
You've
1
got
star,
to
and it's
know what
also a
you're
large
doing.
road. So I don't think it will
Yeah,
make
I
any
don't think it.
difference.
Yeah. If that's the case, probably won't make any.
The Weir up here Antica would make more difference with 4 stars, narrow road, and 1.8 kilometers. But sadly, it's after the finish line. That could, if that would have been before the finish line,
Which? How many
with
stars did you say the second one that doesn't repeat itself at the finishes?
4 stars, you can also see it
Ooh,
on
yeah.
the
Oh
screen now.
yeah.
We are
Yeah.
passing
Yeah.
it
I'm
right now.
seeing it. 1.8 kilometers as 4 stars. That would actually make some differences. Yeah, if it was before the finish.
Yeah,
The
definitely.
fast pace at the
But
front
well,
is too
maybe we
much
see
for
some
several
actions
riders.
there on the other
Hey
parts.
man, that's not how you drop riders. Just maintain at zero. They won't forfeit, and they will stop without hitting anyone. Other than that, the race has been launched.
Yep. We are like
Oh, we already have a
30.
break.
Yeah, we are 13 kilometers ahead because Emir's loading screen took so long, which
Yep.
is good.
Attack from a rider.
How many kilometers ahead?
13 actually. We are at
Wow, that's
185
pretty good.
already.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Thank you, Emir.
Thank you, Emma, for doing full graphics. We appreciate it on it's like
But
this one.
actually, I don't guess what's the problem of Emir's PC. I'm also at not at completely full graphics. I'm at like the second stage, but to have some graphics for my stream, I still have the one, and I
But I
still
don't
get
think there's any problem with this PC. The thing is, for PC and multi, more often than not, even a NASA PC would have time computing it because the game itself is what processes harder. The game itself has a hard time processing its own graphics, so it's not really the PC's fault of anyone, except those who have potatoes, but that just makes it worse.
So I'm gonna be able to see the climb in full action in my group soon, and then I'm gonna call you how hard it actually
All
is.
right, we look
Okay.
forward to know that info, see how many carnage can be done in that group, then we'll compare it to this one. Right now, we already have 60 men at the front, but small gap, so I assume someone making sure that or trying to rejoin. Now the split has 25-17. Someone else attacking to join the peloton. 14 men behind him. Yeah, can we see who's behind actually? Thank you. Oh, it's CS Gaming and Stein for Ghosty. I didn't even see what rider it was. Oh, it's a Mountain 78 guy. 78 Mountain. Sorry. I'm quickly going to look at both screens because I have several screens display, multi-screen display. Gonna look at Group B as well. See how the climb goes.
Yeah, it's not that first going here, but it's still seeable how the road is.
Yeah, I do. Let's see if this. But for now, it probably might not even be anything out of it because people are just quietly strolling. Well. Now, if you just joined Finn's stream to quickly see it, you can also see that the classification is there. Jakub won the first classic, has 80 points. Joe Whiteley second, 60. Agap third, 45. Naughty's fourth, 35. UB fifth, 25. Alcolmiano 5. Max did not score. That's unfortunate. Now, back to Group A, we see.
We see also a pretty steady pace.
Indeed.
But also a bit faster pace than my group because 13 kilometers reduced to 8.
Ah, yes. Because here there was
We have
a major
losing
split.
in group.
Here there was a almost half by half split, and people were trying to rejoin, so that accelerated the race a little bit. Now they're going to the hardest part of the climbing Group A, the one we are currently streaming. Francesco going on the right, Swaxon on the left, apologies. And we had ASG, yes, ASG, and it was Alder at the front, but at the center, but Alder decides to try something. Let's see. Grassi joins him. I think Basso will also join. Finally, a breakaway forming here in Group A. 9 men. That would be 3 from Basso, 3 from Grassi, and 3 from Alder. Let's try and see. 78 Mountain guy. Sprinter. I didn't see that one. Who? And the Cobbles guy. 82 Mountain guy. No. A time trial guy. Cobbles guy. All right. Also 75 Mountain. A Puncher. Interesting. Now Swaxon with 4 men. There are now 13 men following the first group, which are still Bastos 3 riders. Swaxon comes with 4. Laurel, I see him with 3. No, 1. It's ASG with 2. Interesting choice, putting only 1 rider, if I saw correctly. Group B is still strolling, so we'll just keep calling A anyway. We're already going to do it, as it is a center course for the evening. Basso still trying to keep an advantage on that downhill. It's not a bad place to sustain it. You won't lose energy or too much if you know how to do it. But now we have someone. Can we see who's trying to break there? Is it Laurel? It is. Trying to put a couple more men at the front. I think he's actually trying to go with them all, but we'll see. Ghosty with 3 men approaching the front group as well. And there goes Laurel. I think he's going with all 5. That is not going to make it work. He's just trying to close the distance, I think. Which he will succeed right about.
I still IMA wants me to put the PCM IMA logo on my stream, and while wanting to
PCM IMA logo.
IMA Champions League logo, because I'm putting PCM Norge logo right now. And while looking through my images, I see I still have PCM UCI Champions League logo from like 2 years ago on my PC. I could put that one.
I think PCM Norge is better because at least it does not require a license as the UCI one.
No, I also got IMA now for you, EMEA. No problem.
All right. Round and round we go, back to 42. We end up with same as in Group P, so nothing absolutely going on in these stages. Wow.
Still have all the old graphics from 2021 Champions League.
I have a few from past editions. I'm not sure from which. I would need to check. I don't know if I still have UCI ones, to be honest. We'll see. I'll later take a look at it. Probably could tell you in the future if I do another
My
stream.
stream is packed with logos now, but I refuse to delete PCM 91.
Okay. Although you're Finn, but okay. So right now, this is a bore fest. I'm not gonna lie
Yes.
to our viewers. That's they
Just
did
as
what
the
it was.
first classic, I really hope the last one with the whole clams gets interesting.
At this point, I don't know if it matters so much that there might be differences, which there weren't any in the first one anyway, and nothing big. Just like 20 riders or so still ended the race on the same time. It's just the in between the action, there's nothing going on. And then people complain that we have, like, after this, if this doesn't work, which it probably won't for spectacle, at least for I mean, people will complain that they have constant hilly races. I found that boring for the player because they can't take the eyes off of the screen for 1 second. But at the end of the day, see what is needed to get something happening. Also saying, pretty much sharing our thoughts, I guess, because
Yep.
can the mountain stage be interesting at least? Yeah, I would like
says
that.
it won't.
Oof, they probably already saw the profile, so I'm gonna trust his judgment as a great PCM player. Maybe he already has enough pulse of the lobby, seeing how it went. I can't disagree with him at least right now. So, Via de San Diego will begin in 5 kilometers. Why is Frabo muted? Himself, like,
Bravo doesn't want to commentate, he just wants to watch, he said.
Okay.
Why
Well,
doesn't do it on Twitch then, I guess?
well, there won't be a next time, so if someone joins here not to comment, then there's gonna be a next time then. If he couldn't comment, he should have said so. That was not the case. Well, anyway, might not be up to me to decide next time anyway. I don't know if there's going to be a next time for me. We'll see. And that's a pretty boring slow race.
Yeah, my group too.
Amazing. The most amazing thing happening right now is Via San Gregorio and Via Appia Antica happened, and well, Via Appia Antica will now start. Via San Gregorio, I believe it was the name. Nothing happened there, but this one is 4 stars. We will see some movement here, and it's Alder launching one rider, spicing the race up. Swaxing right behind him. I think that's fuck. I've tried giving up on seeing who it is because when there's a certain distance, you can't really distinguish those 3 jerseys at this point. Well, Ghosty's one you can, but the other 2 are just annoyingly similar at a certain distance, and we need that distance to properly comment. Could we have those jerseys fixed if we end up in another semifinal with 2 players from or 2 same players or 2 players that would have require similar jerseys playing? Because this is like annoying to comment.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
A rider is looking to give the
It's so
pack the
boring to
slip.
comment that because literally nothing is going on.
Well, yeah, that doesn't help either. Well, that's the worst part actually. But we have Francesco Grassi with 3 riders about to join Alder. I see 82 Cobbles guy, Grassi. And who else is that? Apparently only has the Cobbles guy because that's all we see.
He's off on his own. The team sponsor won't be disappointed.
Attila Walter attacks in the peloton that will be. Basso was probably trying to join. He joined actually, not only did he try, he joined. And Alder has Arch, so lonely guy on this break. If this break actually survives, it would be interesting to see, but there's already people yelling against it. which I believe is. Oh, Ghosty actually tried to join. Okay, Bridges. He's a strike to Bridge. Swaxon trying with him again for a man. Success. 14 men on the break now. Let's see if they can make that advantage grow a little bit on the next climb. Meanwhile, I'll see Elcom. Sorry, who dropped?
Fravo dropped. See you, Fravo.
See you, Fravo. Alright, back to the race I go.
We have still a 42 people peloton here, which I hope break a bit.
We actually, well, I don't know if how big delay I have, but I see 9 in a break here. El Colombiano and someone else in Group B.
In Group B, in my group.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought we are still at, we're commenting our group right now. In my group, we are having a 9-man break, that's right, with
Alright, yet another.
Yivi and Agap.
Here we actually
going
have.
on full team attack now.
Actually, we. Oh, Nautis. Actually, we now have some movement being attempted here with pace at the front from Grassy, it was, and not sure. Other thing has one right there too, actually. 3. So one of them might try something. They might either try and harden the race a little bit or launch a new attack. Let's see. We'll soon be on the hardest part of the climb yet again. And this is where positioning will be vital, and at least they will have that. And I believe that was, it's a bit far to be sure, but Alder?
Is Herrera actually El Colombiano, by the way?
Yes. Which you can refer to that name if you want, because people are more familiar with that name. So.
Yeah, of course, but I was confused.
No, yeah, it is.
Oh, Herrera is like a new Colombian player.
You see that?
No, it's El Colombiano, new name for PCM 22, I believe. And Alder going, and someone whose jersey I'll never be able to decipher, which is ASG, joining him. Ghosty now attempting to, or will attempt to join. He's positioning his man up the front. Second group comes now. I think he's going to strike. Let's see. Tough part of the climb is coming. 6, 7, 3, 7, 9. It's Martinez putting the pace in the front group. It's now 6 people. ASG also going with his man, but going behind Alder. Ghosty keeping the pace, trying not to give too much of a gap for the escapees. Group B retains 9 men at the front, but also with a very short gap about to be closed, I believe.
Meanwhile, in Group B.
Meanwhile, there's someone else trying to join. Email?
Ghosty once again, and now that could be quite interesting.
Yeah, I definitely expected him. I definitely expected him to join at some point with his movement. He had both groups in the front of the peloton. One had good chances of going when he decided so, and he decided just to get a bit of the tough part of the climb at the end and try and manage it in the downhill. So let's see. Now it's Laurel pacing like there is no tomorrow.
We also have that. We also had that with Max in the climb. But now here we are slow again.
Oh wait, I haven't said this tonight. I always say this when I see 6-man train, and there's now a couple of them to be seen in Group B. And probably in Group A if I search for it. 6-man train! Okay. So that happened, and we move on to Basso actually attacking with Tupalik, Chevny, and someone else.
Which makes sense, because then he doesn't takes every other player with him, and
doesn't have the responsibility to work.
Yeah, and there's the need to close the gap, because otherwise the group.
Oh, and Swaxon wants some of that action as well for the same reasons. And if Laurel doesn't join, it will be up to him. All hell is currently breaking loose. Let's see if it lasts.
Grassy still at the back.
Oh, Grassy, one of those that haven't joined either. I thought it was just Laurel. Not sure if Laurel is there. I think no. Yeah, Laurel definitely the one, and Grassy the two that need to make something happen. Grassy, not the first time
will be
player
closed.
Knows that he has to join, but Laurel decides to close because he does not know the attack button or the possibility to have multi-trains. Basel, as Swaxon, took 4 men. First sight, they seem to be the only one, so they're definitely trying to make some pace to keep that break from being caught just yet. But it's gonna be really hard because Laurel seems to be going just for the time gap we have there at the center in the bottom screen. It looks to be going like a madman to try and close. I don't understand why he does just send 3 or 4 guys like the others to the break. Well, I do. I mean, he's not an experienced player, so probably not confident in his ability to do so.
I'm a bit scared of the finish as a sprint finish with some corners and the cobble section, to be honest.
Oh, can you actually quickly show it on your stream so we can see?
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Cheers. Let me know when it does so I can look at there.
You know, we're already parsing the line where we got some corners there, and now then the cover section, and then we are like having like a small downhill finish. It looks a bit scary, to be honest.
I have some delay, which actually works well. So I'm waiting for it to happen here, or maybe it happened that I didn't see. Probably. Starting to think it was the case, yeah, because this would be too much of a delay. I was probably still looking at Group A when he did.
He's going to take them on by himself.
We're having a split over the second cover section now. Let's see how this goes. We are about to approach the last person.
Round and round we go. At boredom, we are back with 42 men strolling around in Group A. Meanwhile, Group B has a split. Not sure if it's going to be a permanent one either, but at least it has a 40-second gap, at least yet. So insist on that part, at least. Alright, quickly going back to the IMA chat, because I know we have some peeps there watching, and want to just quickly check if someone wanted to add something to the discussion, something new. Harsh saying, I don't think so, or I think no, which was, I think, regarding the sprint of Basel. Maybe he was disagreeing with our view that nothing illegal happened there. It's a valid point, everyone has right to an opinion. We didn't even have time to review the images yet, so I'm also not going to argue on one side or the other, but I'm not even sure. And don't be too opinionated about it, to be honest.
We are now approaching the last climb for Group B, but also soon for Group A. We have some splits there. We have Laurel and Alder going. 9 men behind. Let's see.
The way things are going right now, 84 Sprinter will win Colombia, says Basel. If this keeps going, yeah, it's a good point. But right now there's a cut there. 9 guys, 4 players, I think, got behind with some of the riders, probably some of the most important ones. Huh? Maybe not. Well, maybe so, yes. Depending on how the race goes, of course. But Swaxon, not the first time he is on the block, getting the first chance he got to join back. Let's see if others also do the same. It is essential to not lose, to actually join, that group before the climb starts. And Laurel, realizing it, goes and is about to reconnect as well. I figured Rossi should be right next behind him as it was counting 7 men. And Ghosty's man is there as well. Alder, sorry, not Rossi. Round and round we go. To 41 we are reduced, meaning we only lost 1 guy, I think. So, not much. Same situation that, or I assume that a similar scenario must be happening in group, because I'm not looking currently.
Yeah, we have last
30.
climb going right now with a group of 40 people waiting on guys to attack.
Lovely. Meanwhile, we are a little bit. We might actually catch Group B's finish first.
Yeah, I think they will finish first, probably.
At some point, let us know when that time comes. Maybe we get to see the finish this time.
Yeah, I don't know, should I stream it in Discord to you, Emea? Or do you want to stream my stream if you want to take it on the stream?
If you can actually put it on Discord, we could call it on real time, which would give us some time to actually take advantage of the small gap there is. Might be enough. Alright. Again, like I said, since we will be calling this one for as long as we can, let us know when the time comes to pay some attention to the finish. And they may, as soon as Finn warns us, we switch to that stream so we try and catch both finishes. So, 41 riders, first part of the climb is about to be done. Alder leading the way with 3 guys. Grossi actually ahead of him with 2. Sorry, I'm getting scenic instructions.
It's in such percentages that
Alright,
the
so you
strongest
can
create
stream
some
from
gaps.
Twitch, yeah, but we'll still call it as we see it via him from Discord because it will allow us to do so on real time. Thank you, Emma. That's perfectly fair.
We got no real attacks going here, moving over the last climb. The race just got a bit more selective, reducing the group
The pace
to
is so high that a
17
few riders are
people,
gonna
but
be
still
very sore at the
everyone
end of the
is
day.
included here, I think. Let me check, yeah, we have everyone included in this group.
Since the climb is over, that might be the best we get. Around 20 men, give or take, in both groups, maybe.
Actually, we don't have everyone included. We have Agap dropped.
Ooh, that's
And also Joe, but Joe is dropped with a 78 sprinter, which could be the reason why he dropped some
yeah,
riders with him.
which means he still has the A plan in there somewhere.
Yeah, he has still the hill guy in the front group, but 3 guys dropped with a 78 sprinter, so he's
Oh,
definitely
that's
trying
not
to play for it.
it's not ideal, but he has a lot of time to close this gap because it's not even 1 minute, and he's going to move now with Garen Thomas. Meanwhile, it's Alder attacking on
Alva
the last
going
climb.
in this group, and let's see how this goes, but I think he won't really get the possibility to make a move here.
It's not being easy. He's definitely trying with Igita and again Bevnal, and it's Basso, and I think it was Ghosty, someone else following. So Slasson needs to be careful there. Oh, he's down to, I think, 2 riders, if I saw correctly. One was seemed to be rejoining, so the
It's
second one.
definitely a bit more selective in Group A than in Group B.
Oh, definitely. And ASG was going to. Let's see who's left. Basso is there, Ghosty is there, Slasson is there, Grassi is there now. Everyone seems to be with at least 1 or 2 riders or more. Yeah, can we check the front? Probably 2 riders each. Yes, and 2 from. Well, no, not 2 from me. It's 7, right? It's 7 participants, alright. Not even sure at this point. I think it's 7. Everyone seems to. I don't see Laurel, but I think it was there. We have at least 1 rider. Now Basso and Flaxen trying to take some further help back into the peloton. It's 55 seconds gap, give or take. They do have time to close this, however.
A courageous rider is looking to break away.
13-kilometer difference seems to be back, and wait. Oh, Basso and Swaxon having 77 sprinter. Yeah, in first chasing group, yeah. I didn't mention the sprinter specifically, but yeah, we did talk about them. About people trying to return, and yeah, sprinter should be somewhere around there. Now, let's see. It's still 1 minute, though. And it might not be long enough time to get it going.
We have 11 kilometers to go here with Naut on the move with a 20-second gap, but being catched up by Yubi, and now we have a split of 10 people at the front.
We're actually currently trying to see if Basso and Swaxon can place their sprinters in the main group. But with 2 kilometers to go,
1 minute gap is too
yeah,
much.
I was going to say with 22 kilometers to go, it definitely seems like a big no unless someone stops, or everyone stops in this case. And then we're going to move to group as soon as you can, and we're going to call the finish there. So I'm going to move to Finn's Discord stream, and you can change the stream for group as we try to call both finishes of this race this time. So we have 21 riders. So yeah, here about as much as I expected, average 20 riders. And it's Naughty. I see Joe Whiteley. He already has his riders back.
Yeah. He has
Jakub is
the
there.
sprinter.
Agap is there. Now I see El Colombiano arriving. Everyone seems to be in for the sprint, 4 kilometers to go. There's Joe on the left side. Nauti's on the right. Now it's Yubi coming from the center. He takes the lead. He's followed by Jakub. Let's see who launches first. 800 meters. Let's see. 800 meters for the 2K. And we're going to see action. And it's Yubi that's going to launch first. He's followed. Oh, Joe Whiteley just killing everyone in his path. But let's see if he can capitalize with a win. He's going to be sprinting.
Yeah.
He's going to go. Oh, I don't think he gets it, though. Oh, he does.
He will.
Sorry, I mislooked. Yeah, that's the actual win for him. And the second was Yubi. Is Germany
Yeah,
too?
it was GB, third El Colombiano, fourth Joe again, fifth Agap,
El
sixth Max.
Colombiano actually scoring some much needed points with this podium.
Yeah,
And
let's get back to Group A.
Joe stealing. Yeah, let's go back to Group A. Joe stealing points to Agap. That was fifth. Joe's second rider. And then who's Germany won? Max?
Germany won is Max, yeah.
Sixth, and Jakub only 7. That is bad for the Polish rider. That is indeed bad for the Polish rider, only getting a, I believe it was 7th place. Back to Group A, sorry. 6 to go. Yeah, we still have time, indeed. 6 to go as we wait for the conclusion of the sprint. 13 man. Yeah, it was a bit more selective, not particularly that much selective. As the sprinters are trying to re-enter, it might be a little bit too late for Swaxon, though, as he lost protection at some point. I don't know what happened to Walder there, but train block maybe? Block, sorry, or train block? I don't know, man. That was weird. The rider just stopped. Like a brick wall. That happened to me so many times. We have the sprinter being launched. It seems to be to Ghosty, but there's ASG coming on the right side. It's Grossi in the center. Swaxon trying to sprint. Right side. Oh, it's Grossi! It's Grossi! Grossi stealing it from ASG! And Swaxon almost got up to the French. And we have Grossi winning stage 2. That's 100 points in the bag for him. ASG still making justice to his World Championship title, saying screw critics, and justifying it with another solid podium finish. Swaxon is third. Then we have Ghosty Germany won fourth, I believe.
The 77 sprinter is back, bitches.
Thank you, Joe. Yeah, we actually saw it. And then we have Tupalik for Basso being only fifth. That's a rough patch for Basso. He needs to try and make something happen. Even though he still has a good result from the first one, he definitely needs to try and make something happen. He was only fifth. And then I believe Laurel. Where's Laurel? Actually, I don't even. No, it was Alder. Yeah, because Laurel did 6. No, sorry. No, I don't even see Laurel. Alder, I know he dropped, but I'm so confused. No, Alder is there, 13, 14. Is it me or Laurel didn't finish in top 20? Am I missing Germany? I don't see. Oh, wait. No.
Seventh.
T7. I see. It's the only rider. Wow, I didn't miss him. But still 7th, also not for the German player. That was a rough result for someone like Basso, for example. Grossi justifying the possibility of that some, or, well, it was a bit divided. I guess 50-50 of people were giving Grossi a chance to pass. The other 50% was saying no. But he justifies some of his favorite status, not like biggest favorite of the group, but the possibility to pass is for now justified with this win. He still needs to keep it going, though, which is very, very important, because this result by itself is not enough. ASG is very close to passing, if I recall correctly. Also had a decent result, third. Second might not be enough yet, but very close to it. Swaxon second, third. It's going to be closer. Might be close, because the last stage is worth 120 points, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, surely. Last stage will be decisive.
Let me... Sorry. Carry
Yeah, sure.
I was just going to say, let me know when your group starts, because I'm trying to... Because with it being a mountain stage, you want it to be delayed between the two groups more.
Oh yeah, please wait a little bit. We are actually waiting for Group A to start.
When it's the sprint, it doesn't really matter, but...
If you're interested, I posted your groups overall in the chat.
Thank you. I was keeping a track myself, but yeah, you're quick
Oh.
on it, so...
I'm actually gonna try and look. Did you put in Group B?
Yeah. Also on my stream if you want to see.
No, I am watching your stream. Oh, okay. I have it on, but I was actually still in the IMA one. I see. So let's see. It's easier to go to your stream. Joe Whiteley leading 160 points, and unless something bizarre happens, he should be in a good position to pass in the top three. And like something bizarre would probably be him being fifth or sixth, and the second, third, and fourth doing some good points. UB second with 95. Here it's going to be close because Jakub has 90 and Agap, who is fourth, has 70. And Alcolmiano 55 places himself back in contention again. Naughty's with 40 also, but a bit more far. Max is almost out of contention unless he could actually win the last stage, and some results were in his favor. He is the last of the group with 18 points. I'm actually waiting for classification of Group A. I don't know if it was already
Yeah,
posted.
there is Grassi is leading ahead of ASG and Swexen and Basso, but it's all close. They're all within 30 points. And then Ghosty, Laurel, and Alda are quite behind.
Oh yeah, as I said earlier, this is going to be really close after what we saw. Wow, this is interesting. Grassi with the win came out of nowhere to place himself in contention again, obviously. ASG, he has 135, ASG has 115, Swexen 110, and the Paso 15. So someone here will have to break at some point, only three can pass. Then Ghosty is a bit far behind, 6 points, Laurel 28, Aller is last with 1 point. And as we saw, he was definitely hurt there. I don't know what happened, but his two riders stopped. Not sure if it was a bug. Probably a train bug is the first thing that comes to mind. But there is another bug that I've had more than once that also causes that for no bizarre reason. We'll try and see what happened later. But it was really hurtful for his classification. He might be out at this point unless he makes a miracle happen. Meanwhile, we are waiting for. I don't know what's taking so long for Group A to go. I mean, as soon as you can, because we're waiting. Group B is waiting for us to go. I think, correct? Is Joe still here?
Yeah.
You guys are waiting for us to go first, right?
No, I'm waiting for Max to join. Oh, he doesn't play apparently.
Max won't play, sadly.
Oh well, someone go first. I don't care which
We're
speaker it
going
is.
first, yeah.
Okay, go then. We'll wait a little bit here, Emma, please. Like 2 or 3 minutes might be enough.
Just waiting for Note to confirm. It should be good. Yeah. Vamos. This stage looks well, hard.
So in Group B, I think Joe's pretty surely already through. Hübi, Jakub, and Agabas could still battle quite well for the other spots, though. Joe, what's your prediction?
That I don't win the stage. These climbs are very hard as well.
Yeah, this race will be really hard. I'm not really worried about the finish because I think we will have a sole winner, to be honest.
Yeah, or maybe two at most.
Yeah,
But-
yeah.
Yeah.
Joe, before you're still here, sorry to interrupt. That was actually a mighty sprint. Did you actually check the parkour to see how the finish was?
Well, we rode through it a few times anyway, but yeah, I knew the parkour was.
That's always good. That was a really, really good timing there. You actually did it perfectly.
Thank you.
All right, as we move on.
We started already.
That's good, actually. We're going now in Group A. Let me quickly just check. Yeah, Group B is already on the road, so that's good. With MA's graphic loading time that we know,
By the way,
graphics. It's gonna be awesome.
It's quite funny. I got a fluid stream compared to Mayor and also loading in faster, where he had the better PC. I don't get PCM in streams.
Like I told you, PCM's problem either you have a good PC or an awesome one. It still means the game is gonna take time to process its own stuff. So it's always gonna be uncomfortable if you have full graphics, like it is in Mayor's case.
Yeah.
But I also have pretty much full graphics. That's the funny thing.
Yes, that's true. Well, not full though. I guess maybe
No,
very.
it's medium, but that medium that you can still see like some interesting stuff and
Yeah,
not
but
just the
it's
green.
still from medium to everything to all of them. It still makes some difference.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. While we wait for MA graphics to load in, I'm taking a quick look on Finn's Discord stream to see. We already have a break trying to develop right now.
Yep.
So let's see if it sticks, because at least I expect some interesting racing in this one. If not for anything else, maybe the parkour will help this time.
I really hope so.
Because not only do we need good material to
I'm gonna
comment.
be back in a minute.
All right, thank you. Also, as spectators, we also need something entertaining to watch. So let's see. Meanwhile, we have Jakub moving forward with 3 men on Group B. We are currently waiting for Group A to finish loading. Quick look in there to see the lobby is starting. So we will go back to A. I mean, can you quickly check the profile of those climbs so we can have an idea what to expect? When you can, of course. Just effort cursor 0, bro. Not effort cursor. No, not effort cursor. Sorry. Effort. Maintain position at 0. And they won't stop the race, but they will immediately drop without blocking anyone. Oh yeah, that's definitely going to be an interesting race. Finally, the skill component is, or might be, at full effect in these lobbies, unless something strange happens, because there's a lot of climbing material there, which is my favorite terrain. Not only because it doesn't mess up with my OCD, there's less confusion, it's more steady to control. It's a lot of fun to control energy there. In my opinion, there's some fun management to do in climbs. I think that should be... Wait, Naivo Quintana is the time trialist, or did I see wrong?
No, he is.
And so they're off
Poor
on their
Naivo.
first climb.
Well, now is the 82 mountain. That I can't disagree with.
The usual secondary mountain guy got changed for the time trialist. I've been climbing with Alex Dowsett recently.
Yes, I know. This boggled me a lot when I
I'm
was
back.
still in
I'm back,
competition.
guys.
Fortunately, I only have one more race in road to do, which is the TTT semifinal, because or else it would still be mind-boggling. You have to deal with Alex Dowsett climbing and Adam Yates not, or
This climb is
Simon. Well,
feared by
Simon I
many
think in
riders. The
GB2,
percentages are very
so
high.
Adam never.
Climbing the others. Well, I think the it's Teo Gegenhardt in the first.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's also Tao. That's even worse. Yeah.
Because he is the time trialist in GB1.
Am I looking right? Am I looking right, Joe, or does the race really didn't had any pause yet so far?
No, we actually had a breakaway of sort, but then he got brought back. But we've got some attacks again now.
Yeah, it's quite spread up over the road. It's quite interesting to see.
Most difficulties will start now for Group A, so we do expect some some action here to be seen. Let's see.
The first climb in Group B was already quite interesting. Let's see how it goes in Group A.
Yeah, I was seeing at that point when I quickly looked at the screen. Now is the stage where skill is expected to come in handily. And
Well,
then,
what the fuck happened there? I was like just alright stopping for a second.
I was actually quickly looking at
Attack!
the other screen.
It's now or
Oh,
never
meanwhile,
for those
other team
riders who want
attacks,
to
and he
avoid a battle
must
over the
try
last few
something,
kilometers.
given that he got completely zeroed by PCM on the last race. He needs to recover. He needs to make something happen. Let's see if he will be allowed, because everyone is back together. I don't know what Laurel was trying to do. Maybe just catch up, because if he was trying to launch, he did a terrible job at it. Now Ghosty trying to follow Wilder, Swaxon trying to follow the former two. Laurel, it's Laurel, right? I'm not even sure, man. I hate this.
Laura is the Germany 2. Laura is the one with the stripes and the Bora Hansgrohe, and Ghosty is the one with the actual national champion kit.
Oh, Ghosty is hard to.
With the
It's
actual
easy to see.
national team kit, I mean.
No, Ghosty is easy to see. It's between Laurel and ASG that at a
Oh,
certain
yeah.
distance, I cannot say which one is which.
I can actually don't see any difference there, to be honest.
Actually, yeah.
Thanks
I mean,
Mea for zooming in.
yeah. Thanks for zooming in. Here is easy, but we can't have that zoom during the entire race. That jersey needs to be fixed. Jesus.
Yeah, put a better Germany 2 jersey just. I mean, there are better Germany 2
I mean,
jerseys.
we can't
I
be
can send you one,
completely.
Emea.
We can't be zoomed like that in all parts of the race, if at any. So, as we go, we again have groups charging in to try and be at the front, and Milano dropped, which is pretty regular, as Alder was already doing a massive effort to get some people in the break. He manages to put 3, I think. And 4 from Ghosty, 2 from Swags. We're waiting to see who else is trying to join. I think 4, 3, 7, 8, 9. There's one more rider behind.
Emea, I sent you new Germany 2 jersey. I want
Oh,
you
it's
to
not.
get it.
It's not gonna happen right now. I mean, at the very least after the race.
No, but it's actually better because then it's better seeable.
Oh yeah, no, but he's not gonna do it. He couldn't do it mid race even if he wanted to. That's what I mean.
He
Sadly,
should.
yes. Ten in the front, 5 behind at 51 seconds. All hell is breaking loose since the first climb, the categorized part started. So here we do have some action to witness.
We are at first Grand Colombia now.
All right.
As they go over the top, the riders breathe a
But
sigh
we
of
will
relief
get some action
and
here.
hope
Who's
to
at the front now?
recover a
Can you
bit
get
on
a
the
quick
way
overview,
down.
please? It's Swaxon, Ghosty, and Alde.
Yeah.
And then
Okay,
in the second
and
group,
Basso.
yeah,
No,
Basso
that's
is in
the
second
Peloton.
group, I think, right?
Basso is in second group with one of those two that I can never tell who it is, and I don't give a fuck at this point. Not because of them, but because of the jersey. I have nothing against them. Yeah. Alder should have 3 here, yes. Ghosty has 4, and Swaxon has 3, which makes a grand total of 10 people on the breakaway. Let's see how long they can sustain this. Having a decent advantage before the next climb starts could be crucial to maintain the separation for the 5 behind. And I believe that only 2 guys, Basso and either Laurel or ASG, are in E2. That means one of them between ASG and Laurel is still in the peloton.
Yeah, I would say it's Laurel, to be honest, looking at the pros games, because ASG needs
Yeah,
to be looking at the classification.
Yeah, most likely because Laurel has been the one. I don't know if every time, but most rarely seen in break attempts, to be honest.
Oh, we have Joe going for a complete team attack here.
Interesting.
And Colombiano moving too.
Wait, why is Basso relaying? Didn't he have a man at the front, or did he drop them? He was trying to bridge. Someone bridged, so I'm not sure what he's.
The riders are in a portion above 10%.
He does have people on E1 actually. E2 now, but soon to become E1 again. That was just a temporary cut. And ASG already joined, so it's Laurel now who needs to put the pace. I don't know why Basso would be working against his own brakes. I'm very much confused right there. But everything seems to be back to normal as Laurel is pacing 140. Do you think this could be all she wrote for the German? Because he might not have the needed experience to close this properly, or not even close it. And if he does, he might spend too much energy. What do you think?
He doesn't really have the experience to manage such a gap, but I also think it's not really his job to manage this one. It's more like up to maybe HG or Barso, even though they have someone in front, because I think Alder and also
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Ghosty
Actually, I forgot
are
that.
better represented.
Yes, indeed.
And looking at the classification, Laurel is pretty much out anyway, so it's pretty much ASG's job, I would say. Also
Yeah,
Sweets, maybe.
that's a good point you made about
Also
GC.
Grassi. Where's Grassi, by the way?
Oh, Grassi is not there at all, is he? Yeah, that's an even better point, actually. That's the guy that's leading right now that would need to control things, and he's not in any group. Also, ooh, that might be bad for him, but there's still a lot of time. 122 to go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, and a little bit more of half a climb still to go. So Grassi still has time.
We have
Someone,
team attacks of El Colombiano and Joe going on here
that's out. That's out.
with
Just
a
sounds
1 minute
fun.
gap.
Let me just take a quick peek. Shit, that looks interesting to be honest. But Jakob is definitely not having any of that.
This climb
So,
features some dreadful percentages.
He wants to join.
What is
Only
that
a few
annoying
riders
sun
are
in the middle
capable
of my screen?
following
I
the
just
very
can't
fast
get it
pace
away.
up front.
Oh, it happens in APCM. That's from the game.
Yeah, I know,
It's
but
annoying.
fuck PCM, get it away.
Well, that's the price of graphics, I guess. All right, so in here, wow, things are now Grassi trying to, instead of all out going, it seems like he was gonna rip, but he's gonna try and put 2 men there already. Let's see what he's doing. If he's gonna use 2 to then plus the other 2. Looks like he's going in with everyone in a steady pace. And he goes, exactly. The 4 guys he has, I think that might be it.
Now
Are
Laurel
all
needs to
going.
react, even though
Yeah,
Laurel doesn't really have to chase anybody, he needs to
yeah,
react.
but right now, if he still wants to have at least a 1 in a million shot, he
Yeah,
needs to go with Grassi.
of course. Otherwise he's fucked.
And this might be a blessing in disguise for him, because if Grassi wasn't making the move, it might have been far harder on him alone to close a possible break scenario where everyone else would be involved. But there's carnage already going right now. ASG joins the front group, 19 guys out, and now it's the 2 players left behind in Laurel and Grassi desperately trying to join back. And it's Laurel with 5. Well, it was now 4-4 for each. Laurel dropping the 5th man. ASG also dropped a guy from the front group to the price he paid for trying to and succeeding in rejoining the front. And Alder goes again. He goes again when Don Colombier is almost over, and he's still trying to make something stick, a gap stick in these final moments of the climb.
To be honest, I really need to say, due to having climbs during all the races, this stage is really good.
Yeah,
This
this
Really
is
makes up
will
for
allow
the
the
first
riders
2
to recover
races so
from their
far.
earlier efforts.
indeed. We've actually been action-packed since pretty much mid first climb until now.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of fun. There's a lot of things going on here right now. All they're trying to make something happen. Everyone else in the lobby except Grassi and Laurel were trying to reconnect, but I believe those 2 now have. I see Grassi. I don't see Laurel.
I don't see Laurel either so far.
Emma, can you quickly check it? When I think Grassi managed to put 2 riders down, we'll see which one in a bit.
Yeah, Laurel is behind here. Laurel is behind here.
Grassi had 4. Did he only manage to put 2? Maybe, yeah. Because it might be that he ended up having to spend the others to help his leaders go back to the front. And all they're trying to keep Lopez there and him with him. Okay, there he goes. It's really good for Alder if he can keep Lopez the 75 mountain level for as long as he can. 44 seconds, Finn. Do you think Alder has some leverage to work here in the next line?
I think Aldo's move right now is pretty much suicide, to be honest, but he needs to.
But it is, yeah, he needs to make something happen indeed.
He doesn't even have any chance to go through anymore, actually. Not even mathematically. Even only if someone really fucks up, because he's like, I think. How much is he? He's like 115 points behind qualification swatch, so he would need.
Stage win would be 120, but he would need definitely like 2 or 3 people to fuck up big.
Yeah, and that won't happen. That won't happen in this
Yeah,
lobby.
especially on a mountain stage, not expected at least, but who knows.
So Alda just plays for the.
Basso Ghosty keeping I think the most riders.
Yeah,
like,
Ghosty
for now.
keeping 4 riders. So far is quite
Oh,
interesting.
Grassi got a helper back. I only saw 2 before, so he gets Rosa. Yeah. Laurel finally rejoins. Lost a man to do it, but it's worth it. He still has 3. Swaxon loses Yates, but still has 3 as well. So Ghosty was the one that took better advantage of the situation by placing himself early on there. Wow, Basso is completely murdering Alder's attempt right now because he might make the other 16 move even faster if he can get this going. Which is understandable that he needs to score, but I don't know if he needed to go this soon enough. But let's see. ASG, as expected, someone will try to close them as soon as they can. And ASG is actually going to try and join, but as we know, that might lead to everyone else closing it. Oh, ASG losing 1 man to try and close that gap. Ghosty still with 3. Still keeps the man advantage for now. As we know, having the longer you can keep a domestic in a mountain is always as good. But as we came to see as well, what really matters is if you do good use of the energy you saved after you've lost all the domestic. There's where the difference will matter, because people forget that part. I've been in situations where I did both things, kept an extra domestic and lost, failed to get a domestic and won. So it really matters what you do with that energy afterwards.
We are now approaching the second Grand Colombier, going for the last 3 climbs in this group.
Basso actually is helping Alder here because he's trying to go. I've obviously increased the gap, and Alder is definitely trying to stay with him.
Alda doesn't really need to care about any cooperation, neither does Basso, because Basso just
Indeed.
needs to go for his own race.
And since Alder already spent a lot of energy, he could actually use someone else working right now. And just going his wheel.
So now it's
they don't work to each other, but one doesn't have to stop even if the other doesn't help.
Well and maintain a good position on the bike.
Let's see, 1 minute and 30 gap is quite much, but there's also still 80 kilometers to go.
Yeah, there's still a lot to go, and Swaxon is starting to put a bit of pace in the downhill because there's a lot of almost 2 minutes of a gap already there, as we just said. I do not see Laurel. Did he got dropped in the climb? Good, that's ASG and Ghosty there. Yeah. No, 1 each.
But one rider only.
Yeah, and ASG maybe 1 because I think. Oh, ASG 2. Okay. No.
ASG 2.
Okay. Right. So Ghosty already lost the man advantage. I guess but he's gonna get Buchmann back. We lost something like 4 or 5 seconds in the last kilometers of downhill, so right now when the false flat begins is where we will be able to see if they can reduce this quickly enough to still make it a more manageable gap at the beginning of the next ascent of the Gran Colombier. Now Martinez from Alder and I assume 78 guy for Basso. I don't remember who it is. Topalic, maybe, not sure.
This climb features
Are
some
working
dreadful
together.
percentages.
They actually increased the gap a little bit as Climb Colombia begins for the second time. You
Ubia
can
has
see,
already deja vus.
yes, 1.492 meters of altitude, 14.9 kilometers, 8.2 average.
Yeah, I think Barso, if he manages his energy well, has a good shot with this attack, to be honest.
Oh, and
Alder's-
he's desperately trying to drop Alder there, but Alder can give him a good fight. Let's just see, because Alder is expected to have spent more energy being in the rig for
yeah,
long.
yeah.
Alder, at least for now, saying thou shalt not pass, at least without me. We will see if he can sustain that point of view. EMEA reminding us how ASG had 3 or 4 opportunities to finally get the gold. Looked like Football Club do Porto playing in the Portuguese league. Oh, Flaxon going. He's tired of insufficient cooperation that has been going on and says, screw this, I'm going home. And in this case, Homer is trying to get to the finish line before the others. 2 minutes, yeah. Over 2 minutes is already quite the gap.
Back in Group B, to keep
Yeah.
you a bit updated, here's nothing really happening. We had quite some attacks, but now we are like at a peloton where everyone has about 3 or 2 riders.
Love.
All this together.
Love. Let's see if this happens.
Actually, Agap has 4, not fear. That's German. Actually,
Interesting.
Agap
Climb is
has
feared by
4,
many riders. The
but
percentages
one
are
is pretty
very
much
high.
dead. Let's see how good he can keep it. Because we are pretty much at top of Colombia.
Oh man. Okay. I'm not gonna. I don't think you want me to put that on stream, right? Alright, back as we were. I had some scenic indications by AML, plus I've also had a comment from him to go on stream. He says, Grass, he says he never rests. Also, we have this going on in the race, AML points for the current situation. So ASG desperately trying to quickly catch up to Swaxton. They're a down-to-earn rider, and now Grassy with 2 is going to try and join that party and say, denied, not without me. And somehow Ghosty ended up with only 1 man for having, at some point, the 1-man advantage over everyone. So, not a surprise. We know this can happen in mountains, especially.
We have Vivi and Herrera, El Colombiano, attacking now with 1 minute gap.
Okay, everyone is on their own as we speak, so everything is falling apart. All hell is breaking loose, and they need to cooperate here, or else this will become hell for someone, especially those behind. Yeah, because they still have 1.5 minutes.
Yeah.
If they
With
could keep,
Laurel going now, Laurel going.
if they could keep around 1 minute to face that downhill, could still have a chance to regain some momentum in a second to last climb. Let's see if they can, because Laurel is definitely trying to go. Definitely trying to close it. But what he might end up doing if he doesn't attack is facing everyone back with him.
Yeah, he should increase his rhythm so he gets a gap.
Yeah, and
He's dead. He's dead.
he's dead, and
The riders are
he
going
just
through a
ended
very
up
tough
closing
portion with percentages
or
above
maintaining
10%.
the gap for the rest of the group. And he will soon be dropped. Now,
Alder
Basso and
also dead. Alder also dead.
now ASG, yeah, Alder in big trouble there, but we expected it as he was in the break far earlier than Basso. And now
They're heading
Swaxon trying to
downhill,
join
so
with
they've got to
ASG,
make sure
but
to keep
Ghosty is
warm
right
and make
there in
no
between,
mistakes on their
keeping
trajectory.
Grassy on side, so to speak. And Laurel has been dropped. He will rejoin if everything goes according to normal, but this also means that he will be the first to drop it at the decisive moment of the final clap. And like I said, Ghosty here in theory, had some good energy with the extra man for so long. Now, what he does with it will be decisive as well.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Now, people seem to have gotten to some work understanding on the downhill. Let's see if that is the case. Actually, it's just ASG for now. When Laurel rejoins, also as expected, and I think everyone's gonna just sit up or put minimum pace. Yeah, no, everyone's sitting up. It's stupid, to be honest. Let's see if Grassy or Flex an attack, or if they will just try and cooperate. Oh, Grassy. I thought he was gonna go. There was a slight animation there, but nothing happened. But Swaxon either is going to increase the pace, maybe they can cooperate here. As Col de la Biche begins for the last time as well.
Yeah, we're about to finish Col de la Biche for the last time, having El Colombiano and TB at the front with a 1 minute gap to Jakub and Naut, and they're in front 15 seconds ahead of Agap and Joe.
Right now, El Colombiano and Alder, if you could put a little bit on E1 to see if they are cooperating still, because Alder dropped at some point. Let's see if he actually, I think he will, because he still needs to try and finish out of others. Alright, they are working. You can go back to A1 when you can.
Swaxon's kinda mad. Idiots. Says.
Well, I can't blame him. Everyone's been ratting here, and not just ASG.
Of course,
But-
it's Group 2 syndrome, which is happening here. They all don't want to burn their energy to bring the others back, while when no one wants to burn the energy, no one
is
will come
about
back.
to be pissed because as soon as he decides to go, everyone else wants to work then. But as soon as they reach him, they'll all stop. We've all been in this position. It's frustrating as hell. And there we go. Laurel joins to do nothing. Traxxon is one of those that actually needs some points to happen. Yeah, we're gonna ask something, Finn?
No, I was asking the same question we always asked if Laurel has apparently 2 riders, but it was just ASG.
No, it's ASG, but yeah, I can definitely understand that question. These jerseys from far distance, where it shows which is where we need to be most time, are annoying and easy to confuse. Especially when we have the names popping up top of them, even worse. So right now, I see Ghosty and Laurel. I don't know if Laurel is gonna pass ahead or just cruising along to try and get a good place on Ghosty's wheel. Now ASG. And yeah, first time in my life I see Swax and Rage. Oh yeah, then you've missed a lot. But not like this, no, absolutely. I mean, fun play and everything. We have some laughs, but I think he's perfectly right in what he's saying, in my opinion. I would be mad as well in his position. That's how people usually die, having to work because they need to and everyone else just skill sucking. If I was Swax, then I would personally stop working, and he can hope that the third place would be enough, and maybe it probably is. He doesn't have to kill himself if no one wants to chase with him. Oh, I think Alder already got dropped.
Yep. Probably.
Which might be all she wrote for him.
Go at
because,
the front, please, Imea.
Yeah,
it's Basso, of course.
Yeah, Basso, of course, in the front. And Alder trying to save as much energy as he can to avoid completely fading out with his rider. We'll have to try and work someone in the downhill, but he's not going to be able to stay at the front alone. And here might be where the attacking group pounces, with people starting to try and move closer to Alder. See, I think Swaxon might try and go again. Let's see if he does. As I said, it would be smart not to. And again, everyone will just sit up, try to fill their bars. The guy pull again, increase.
We have everyone alone on Group B while it's all about to come together again.
Yeah, I think Swaxon took the best choice here, as I was saying, not to work. Third place, if he gets it, is might be possible for him to pass, and it's still better to try and make third than to die working for others without any. But this will likely not be enough for Alder because he would definitely need to pass Basso to even have a chance at going through.
Yep.
If he had managed that, he would actually be in an interesting position because everyone else will probably, except Laurel, it will go down to a sprint where anything can happen. Unless someone makes a good move at the final climb of the day. Lacé du Grand Colombier, I believe it's called, in 4.14 kilometers now. Less. And Basso. Oh, someone moved out. Someone moved behind Alder. Well,
SG
whoever.
tries to attack.
Yeah, it was Swaxon. I was gonna say that because he was the one I saw in the front when everyone was arriving. And again, ASG reading and closing and then stopping.
No.
No?
ASG attacked and the others closed it, but it was funny because he read it all the time and then just attacked.
Yeah, it's usually what he does. Someone moves. It's been Swaxon most of the time. He just moves behind them and then stops.
The riders
That's
are going
reading
through a very tough portion
as
with
good as it
percentages
gets, to be
above
honest. And I don't know
10%.
what Grass is doing. I mean, I know he doesn't need the win per se, but he still needs to make sure well, that's pretty much what he's doing, making sure he stays on the group to get the best position.
We've got 15 kilometers
However,
to the finish
I'm
line.
not going to say Redding. I mean, he's managing this situation well enough. At least he's not the first one to close on everyone when they try to attack, so there's that. And Basso is going to take the win, guaranteed, and stamp his passing to the final.
Yeah, but what a great win. What a great attack.
Yeah, well deserved. We all know, as you said, that there's a lot of times there's the favorites group or favorites group syndrome, the second group syndrome, where everyone expects someone else. They all look at each other expecting someone else to do something for them, and whoever has the skill for a long distance one and makes it count will undoubtedly win.
If I can interrupt you for a second, we have 1 kilometer to go at Group B. We have Herrera, Hübi, Joe Whiteley, and Jakub going for the final
Can we
sprint.
switch quickly there, Emma? Or we're
No,
on
no, no.
stream?
It's Hübi getting the win ahead of Herrera, so El
Oh, I'm
Colombiano.
actually seeing
Joe.
El Colombiano might be enough for him to pass. I think, not
Yeah,
sure.
it should be. It should be. It should be Hübi, El Colombiano, and
Yeah, I was gonna say I think this might be actually the three guys that pass: Joe, El Colombiano, and Yubi.
oh
Correct?
well, maybe Jakub. Maybe Jakub makes El Colombiano a bit of
I mean,
confused.
he gets 80 points. He was.
I will count. Give me a second.
Yeah, it's gonna be close. Okay, we're back to Group A. I was paying attention to that to tell you the results, and we're waiting for Finn to confirm those that pass. 11 kilometers to go. Boss already sealed his win, unless something really strange happened, like PCM screwing him up. Alder is about to be caught. He tried. He had to try something. It so happens that, sadly for him, it didn't work out. Could have been different. It was not. And now Grassi trying to follow Swaxton again for the downhill. And actually, he's passing Swaxton. Let's see which one of them, if any, because everyone else is joining. Even Laurel is there.
So I have the final count, and it's Joe winning ahead of Yubi, and Jakub and Herrera have same points. I don't know the tiebreak, but if it's a last race, what I would guess, it should be
Colombiana
Herrera
might
going
pass,
through.
yeah.
If it's most wins, it might be Jakob.
Oh, Jakob won,
Yeah,
right?
Jakub won one race, and Herrera was better the last race. I need tiebreak. Emea, can you tell me tiebreak?
Okay, we'll go to that in a second. Right now, we have the finish here. Basso will be the first to finish to cross the line, obviously, and we want to see his final meters right now, and he's going to cross the line in 500 meters.
Emea
And
tells me first tie is
much deserved win. Now I think Alder might still do second here. He will actually, so he's
Can I
going to
still
do.
see results of? Oh, there we go.
Okay, third place sprint.
Jakub, Herrera, where we have Herrera.
And then we have it. Everyone's going together now. Sucks on the right side. It might be Ghostly. It might be Ghostly. It might be SG.
Emea, what is the tiebreaker if Herrera
Oh
didn't even play
my
first round?
gosh. This was the most Mickey Mouse third place I've ever seen in a long time because ASG just read throughout the whole race and still managed to finish ahead of Ghosty, Grassy, and Swaxton. And Laurel in that order. So that might mean Swexen is out, and I think it might be Basso, ASG, and Ghosty or Grassi. There's the
This
doubt I
class
have there.
features some dreadful percentages.
We'll see. Quickly moving to semifinals, Group A to make sure. ASG insulting, says Miko on Discord. He might be right. I did see something. It's just amazing to see how it unfolded. It's just I think ASG, and that's my freedom of expression, and I'll use it, is the most Mickey Mouse champion I've seen, not just because of the way he won, but how behaves in races. But okay. Didamore is saying in-game chat is more fun. Miko agreeing with him. I do agree because I think the protagonists are saying some stuff that we would be able to say with the same words, but obviously we have to be responsible ones and can't. So yeah, I agree, guys. I agree. I'm waiting on confirmation to see Group A's results, and I'm gonna give you a rundown again if it's already around, which I believe is Jakob in normal circumstances that should pass. It is. Waiting for, there we go. Final classification is well, wait. Placement in the previous round, ladies and gentlemen. Final classification: Joe Whiteley, 220 points, wins the group. Ruby, second place, 195. El Colombiano, third place, 135. Jakob, fourth place, 135. Last round is the tiebreaker. El Colombiano is in the semifinals. A-Gap, fifth, 100 points. Naughty, sixth, 60 points. Max, last but not least. But in this case, least just because he's the last of the group. Not least as a player. 18 points in the seventh place. So that is... oh, wait. Yeah, it is. That is confirmed. Yeah, guaranteed. At the end of a round, there is equal sum of points between two players. Following tiebreakers are applied in order: best placement in the previous round, major amount of points in the previous round, major amount of stage victories in this round, major amount of second places in this round. So, best placement in the previous round, which is used for the most part in PCM. I think that's fair enough. Here we see Basso winning with 211 gap on Alder, 229 on SG Gaming, goes to Grassy, Swaxon, and Laurel all on the same time. Trying to see if Emma or, well, not Emma actually, although he probably could collect it for the stream. Trying to see if one already. Oh, yes, we have the classification. Basso winning the group, 225 points. ASG second, 175. Grassy third, 165. So both of my bets actually going through. That's some good fake money. Swaxon fourth, 130. Ghosty fifth, 105. Alder sixth, 81 points. Laurel ended up seventh and last, 38 points. Now we are waiting for interviews, and let's see if we have someone here. Well, we already have Joe. Joe, can you talk to us about your group and how you see things, if you think they are fair or not?
Sorry, what?
Oh, wait.
I wasn't listening.
Yeah. Before you actually answer, we'll move to the interviews channel.
Yeah, sure.
All right, Joe, I was asking, please tell us about your group and how you think things went and if they were deserved or not.
Yeah, I think me and Huber definitely deserve to go through. Um, Jakob kind of played a more aggressive stage 1 and 2. He was kind of the only one trying to drop people's domestiques alongside me, really. Stage 3, I was kind of just playing for fun, so I was attacking quite a lot. I think I spent like 100 kilometers in E1 with my leader, but Herrera was kind of along with the ride,
Yeah,
and
that
I
I
feel
would have
like
deserved, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he played better stage 3 than
Sorry,
Yeah,
guys. I'm going to interrupt you here. We already have an official complaint against ASG by Swagston that says he was prepared to sacrifice his targeted him and was prepared to sacrifice his own chances of going through to purely knock Swagston out. I'm not going to talk about the merit or lack thereof about the complaint. So, Joe, you were saying?
Yeah, as me and Finn both said, probably Herrera deserved to go through based on stage 3. He definitely played a better game. I mean, he went away with Hubie kind of because now let the wheel go, and then A-Gap kind of like swung to the side of the road and blocked everyone. I don't really know what happened. I wasn't too interested in.
Oh, wait, stop,
In
stop. So I'm sorry to interrupt you again. Actually, I think we had I think we have different criteria from what was announced. I think the Damore might have placed the wrong one. If at the end of a round there is equal sum of points between two players, following tiebreakers are applied in order. And let me see if this is already placed.
Jakub is through on the
Oh,
tiebreak.
it are the same, but we did forget to mention in the previous round. So it's actually Jakob that goes through because he wasn't in the previous round, and what starts counting is this round for those that were not, obviously, which means major amount of stage victories in this round. So it's Jakob that passes. GG Jakob. Joe, I'm sorry for the second interruption. It's just as a first
no, it's fine. You give me
so
more
carry
time to
on.
think.
Carry on.
Excuse
Sorry,
me.
I stopped listening to everyone, or are you speaking?
Yeah, no, I'm coughing. Yeah, I think Herrera El Colombiano, I think it is, isn't it? I
Yeah,
think he
Colombiano
probably
ends up
deserved.
being out.
Yeah, he deserved to probably go through on stage 3, but Jakob played a lot better in stage 1 and 2. I mean,
Yeah, more consistent.
as for me and Hubie, I think we were definitely a cut above the rest, really.
All right, Joe, was it a hard group? You ended up topping it, but was it hard?
It's classic, so any group is hard, I guess you might say.
I agree, actually.
There was always the difficulty of, getting caught out in pinch points, especially in the first 2 stages, and then in the third stage, kind of people just relaying unpredictably. I mean, El Colombiano was doing quite a lot of that, but I feel like he had to prove himself to get through in the rounds. That's probably why he was pacing quite a lot. Excuse me. So yeah, I think overall, me he would definitely deserve to go through. He played a very, very good round.
All right.
So yeah.
And that's actually good to hear that. Although if the guy that tops the group says all of those that passed are likely well placed, that's a good thing to hear, especially being a world champion. We we take that as a good indication. Joe, what's the expectations for the final? Gold medal or a medal?
To be honest, I haven't even looked at the parkours, so I can't really say. But I mean, I'd like a medal. It'd be my first road medal in Champions League, but I'm not really expecting too much, especially
I is
so
it
near the
is it
next
worth saying that you're probably more worried about world championship when it comes to goals?
I mean, I don't really. I like playing the Champions League because obviously it's a fun event. But
Yeah, it is. I agree.
yeah, I haven't even looked at the parkours for the finals. So
All right. Well, best of luck, Joe. Let's see if you can get that medal, and I hope everything goes well for you on your future tournaments as well.
okay.
All right. Thank you for being here. I believe Yubi was already here before Basso, so we'll go
Yeah.
with that. Yubi, Finn, if you want to ask some questions, feel free to.
No, I don't really have any questions. Go you on with the interviews.
Yubi, good night. How are you?
Good night.
Good evening.
I'm fine. I'm really happy. I'm really happy.
I didn't see the full rest of your group as we
10
were.
seconds.
Yeah, no, I know.
Oh, yeah.
As we were center court with A, but from what I heard Joe, and he's one of the players of the lobby, so that's always at least something to consider. Saying that you did a good race and a good tournament overall, and that you were one of the guys that deserved to go through. Do you agree with this sentiment?
Yeah, I feel like I improved a lot of really today. First stage, I got fifth in the sprint. Was really bad played. Second stage, then second was better, and the final stage, then probably one of the best stages so far in Champions League played by myself.
That went
And
very
so,
well. Can we expect some more of that in the final, please, if possible? Because that would be fun.
yeah, of course I try. I try to attack. I try my best to make the race
But
attractive.
sometimes
So
you also can only go as far as others let you, right? In any kind of lobby.
yeah, we saw it in stage 1, 2, also in other lobbies. I had it next to me the stream, and I saw no attacks possible really, and then it's not useful to attack, and then you need to play it passive. But the last stage, you had a possibility to attack, and I took it, and at the end, it worked. So
So
I'm really happy with that.
I'm really happy for you as well. It's always good to see someone bringing in a good game and being rewarded for it. I think in Group A that wasn't the case for everyone that passed. I have no problem saying that. I've always been honest in my opinions, but I agree with Joe, at least from what I see and from some people have told me. It seems like the three people that passed in Group P uh, were very well getting a deserved ticket to the final. Between Alcomiano and Jakub, one was more consistent in two stages. One did a great third stage. So any of them would have been a good choice as well. Yeah, thank you so much for being here, Finn. He's not here anymore, but I'll thank him later on when we do the closing. So, Yubi, what are your expectations moving into the final?
Oh, so far, I wasn't too often in a big final, but I never finished better than last or fifth. So I just want to be not last or fifth. I want to be close in contact with the medals, and that would make me very happy at the end.
All right.
So that's my plan for the final.
Best of luck, and I hope you keep getting some very good results, man. Best of luck, because you're a good guy. It's always good to see good people doing some good results.
Thanks.
Thank you so much for being here, Yubi. And we move to Basso now, our final interview of the day. Basso, hello. Good evening. Welcome.
Muchas gracias, afición. Esto es para vosotros.
I'm guessing you're happy with this outcome.
I mean, judging by my tone, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a pretty safe bet to say so. Do you think it was a hard lobby?
It definitely was, to be honest. I was very afraid after the first two stages, and also very pissed at myself / the computer. You know, I've wrote about it like 20 times already, but I zeroed myself twice in a row, so that wasn't.
Did you see what happened with Alder in stage 2? Because he also seemed to hit some kind of brick wall. I don't know what happened there to him.
Perhaps it was the stage. I mean, it does seem like he had the same bug as me. So
yeah, I think there was a bug there. It was so quick that it was hard to see what was going on.
Yeah, I believe we also got zeroed at the same time. So
when you say that since the two first races didn't go as you would like, and when you did that attack on stage 3, did you realize at that moment this is it, or it might not be anything if this fails?
I went all out. You could see it on my domestic and everything. So it was a all or nothing matter. So I didn't take it lightly. I needed to win, or at least finish ahead of the 3-0 ahead of me in the overall ranking. So I believe waiting for the sprint wasn't the smartest idea. So and indeed it wasn't for some. I feel very sorry for Swaxon, who deserved the.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that, as I also asked to Yubi and Joe. I think I asked you a couple of the finals. For Group B, there was the sentiment that the three guys that passed, and even if it had been Al Colombiano instead of Jakob, would have deserved it. Do you think that some of the ones that were criticizing ASG in and out of the lobby, there were several people talking about it?
Wait, let me interrupt you. Herrera is
El Colombiano. I know. No, I know. I've been mentioning him as El Colombiano during the entire stream. Just looking at.
Are you sure about it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure about it.
Okay, then
You
good to
can
know.
actually go back in the stream and you will see me and Finn talking about it. Finn asking if he was El Colombiano, since I was calling him El Colombiano lots of times, and I telling him that was indeed him, and he had a new nickname for PCM 2022.
Well, the more you know.
Do you actually think that, like some people are saying, ASG did not deserve to pass, that he deserved to pass? What do you believe of the situation since you were in that group?
I mean, I believe I don't need to speak to state my opinion.
Yeah, I think when you said it's a shame for Swax and he deserved it, I think that clarifies it also.
yeah, I will rather not call people names or something, but
Alright, that's fair enough. That's always fair enough.
yeah, that I believe that sums it up pretty well.
Alright, expectations for the final. Any?
Victory.
Alright, that's always good to hear. Confidence.
I mean, that's the expectation. The actual result, I believe, will be somewhere around bronze medal, I believe.
Well, we always like to see confidence. That's always good. If you get a medal, as opposed to any medal but not gold, would you still be happy?
I will be satisfied.
Alright.
That's a 6 out of 10.
Alright, there's still that still shows the hunger for wins and need to get it. That's always good to know. Boss,
I
thank you
want to
so
become
much.
the best of all time on the road, so
Alright,
that's my long-term goal. So I will have to win.
that's a big ambition, but so far you seem to be going in a good direction towards it. We will see if you can sustain that effort or not.
Okay. Thank you so much for
Thank you
this
so much
interview.
for being here, Bossy. Bosso, sorry, best of luck for your
Can I do a question?
future tournaments. No, you were
Oh,
not
wait, I
here
have a
for.
question.
Nope. Can someone mute him? He was not here for the entire stream.
I
He
have
just
a
came with my
quiz.
questions. Denied.
Let,
I'm gonna
let-
close the stream. Denied.
let the man
Joe?
speak. Let the man speak.
No, I won't. I mean, he wasn't here for most of the stream. Why he comes here to do interviews? He wasn't here for the entirety of the stream, actually. No, not in the mood for this today. Sorry, denied. So we're gonna close the stream. We have current results, as you can see in your stream screen. Grassi won Group A, 265 points. Basso second, 225. ASG third, 175. Selection
Think about that.
134. What?
Did Grassi win our group?
Yes, he did. He did 35, 100. Wait, what?
Wait, let me
I think Basso,
double.
sorry,
Yes.
Emeo Didamoro, whoever did this table, might have mixed up here the results because he doesn't win the last classic. Basso does. So I'm gonna say Basso winning the group 265 is probably correct. Grassi in second 225 is correct as well. Then ASG passes third 175, Swaxon 130, Ghosty in fifth 105, Alder sixth 81, Laurel seventh, last but not least with 38. In Group B, Joe White to 220, UB 215. That's a great effort from UB and always good to see. Jakob in third 135, very consistent race from him. Third stage didn't go as well, but he still did enough to pass and manages by tiebreaker to get that third place. Alco Milano 135 as well. Then Agap fifth 95. Now Nauti's good, sorry, sixth with 60. And Max in seventh with 18 points. This concludes the results of the semifinal. This means that in the final we will have Grassi, Passo, ASG, UB, Joe Whiteley, and Jakub. These are the 6 finalists. These will be the ones fighting amongst each other for the Champions League gold, silver, and bronze. Best of luck to all of them. May they all have a good shot at achieving success. These were the champions. This was the Champions League. I want to thank Emea, Finn, that was amazing here tonight with me. Everyone else that came for interviews, everyone that participated, viewers, players. We did this for all of you. It was a lot of fun, actually. I did miss occasionally some of these nights on comments. They're always fun. If the race helps, I don't know if I will return yet or not, but we will see. Until then, see you all again. Have a great night. Thank you for coming.
This match was brought to you by FedEx.
and Pepsi, UEFA Champions League official sponsors.